Welcome back. So, April and I have some things that we were talking about for content, and we have two things that are on the to-do list. So, one is we have a semi-single mom, right?
What?
Semi-single mom works at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Baby daddy.
She's not single.
Well, they're not married. They live in the same place.
So, because...
They don't really like each other as much as I think they say they do.
So, would you consider yourself single because we're not married?
Yeah, or according to how the world statutes people, we're single status on our tax forms. So, anyway, it is what it is. Some people are struggling, some people aren't. And she had purchased a car that was a POS from a vendor that was local, with no resolutions. Over the years, I've tried to help her with this car, but it's just beyond. Oh wow, saw that? I don't know if that was skunk weed or skunk itself.
I think that was skunk.
So, she's in need of a car, and then since I'm in like the sweet spot for getting trade-ins that are salvageable, right? So, some customers are just tired of the car when they really shouldn't be. They should just invest in that vehicle and save themselves money instead of getting on the hook for high interest rates and car payments and making the bank rich and just basically mentally satisfying, the internal, I have to have a new car or a newer car, and then showing off to their friends and all that crap. My opinion is they should just fix the car they have and keep their pockets fat. But anyway, I said to April that we're going to help her, and it has to work for me. But we're going to turn it in. I asked you to.
I did go to the bathroom.
All right, we have to make a pit stop. So, I'll have to pee again too.
See?
That we're going to help her get a car, but it's going to have to work for me, and it has to work for content. And I said, well, we're going to get a used car dealer to sell us a trade-in that I deem that is not a pile of crap, and most of them are when we see them traded in. So we have our eye on an 04 Honda Accord, but we have to get permission from the owner of the lot to see if he'll wholesale that vehicle to me, which I would hope that it would only be a few $100s, and then whatever little recon work it needs. I already tried to road test it, but the converter was flawed, but everything else seemed decent. But that doesn't mean anything. I couldn't even really drive the car, but it started right up. The engine was quiet. It didn't smoke. So the car went in gear. A lot of positives. So I said, if I can get that car that's not super expensive, right, for a few $100s, and then put a couple bucks into it to make it more reliable than the POS that she's driving now, that we will do a video about how we're helping a waitress that we see regularly get into a decent car, because between her and whoever she's with, they don't have enough means to do that. And I thought it would be great content, because we do like to give back, and we give back in many different ways. And then we also have another video that we were talking about, is her sister, who's a waitress, who refuses to give her phone number to men who hit on her, and they throw it at her, that's for sure, based on our conversations, that leave her less than
$10.
No, she said she wouldn't even give guys with $10.
She said 20 then.
No. She said she refuses to give men who hit on her, and she's very pretty girl, built very nice, personality is wild, I guess, in her early 20s. Mm-hmm. But she knows that, she's the honey for the bees. But she says that, they give her weed, they offer her to pay for her car repairs and pay her rent. And I said, well,
she didn't say anything about weed.
Yes, I've heard that conversation.
And
I said, well, what are you doing for all that? And she's like, nothing, just being her naturally, appealing self to men. And I don't know what men, so probably younger and older, right? So she goes, these guys hit on me and then they leave me like a $5 or $6 tip. She says, I would never give those guys my phone number. And I was like, all right, well, what does it take to get your phone number from a guy, right? So I told April, I said, we're going to leave her $100 tip, and then we're going to write April's phone number on it. and we're going to see if she texts us. She doesn't have my phone number. Her sister has my phone number. But I said this to April last night. We're going to do that, and we're going to see if is she a gold digger or not. But she says she's not performing any extra services for all the offers these men are doing. But I'm just curious, how much money does it take for me to get her phone number? And we're going to document it. Thanks for watching.